Neighborhood fight to preserve a mainline estate and hundreds of trees has grown in a big way.
Well, this is part 2 of our CBS News Philadelphia investigation into a property known as Oakwell. Here's Chief Investigative Reporter Joe Holden.
People have been fighting to save hundreds of towering trees on this 12-acre property in Villanova. The place on County Line Road is known as Oakwell.
It's almost beyond description. You just have to see it.
Sounds magical.
It is magical.
This mainline land has been Dr. John Bennett's home for more than 25 years. In 2018, the Lower Merion School District seized the property for public use through a process called eminent domain. The district paid Bennett nearly $10 million, and under the agreement, he's been able to lease the property. Soon Bennett will be moving out. He says he exhausted finances suing the school district in connection with the seizure and losing in court. One thing that keeps his heart here, his son's grave.
My son's buried in the back. He died of a drug overdose. And just to rip it up and put playing fields in, it's not right. Not right.
I'm very sorry.
Shows no respect.
The district's plans to construct athletic fields have angered Bennett and neighbors. There are many who want Oakwell left untouched. A few miles away from the property, we meet with top school district leaders.
We acted in good faith at all times. All the discussions were, all the negotiations and everything was completely done and above board. And at the end of the day, we feel he got totally fair value for a piece of property that he was planning to sell anyway.
You had a deal.
We had a deal.
Ken Roos, a school district attorney, explained because Bennett had the property up for sale, the district moved quickly to proceed with eminent domain with plans to someday construct athletic fields. Those fields would be used by hundreds of students who are in need of a place to play. Asked about Bennett's son's remains buried in an urn, the district said it wasn't aware of them until we brought it up. Under the lease terms, the urn would have to be removed when Bennett leaves, according to the district.
I would assume that a school district never wants to come in and utilize eminent domain.
No, and we would never, school district would not have done it if the property hadn't been actively marketed. There was no way the school district was ever going to come in and assert condemnation over a property where somebody was living in and intended to stay.
This isn't the first time the school district has created controversy while searching for land. Months before Oakwell was seized in 2018, the district attempted to take the property next door, known as Stoneley. A battle boiled over, leading to months of protests. Eventually, the school district took its plans for a new middle school to another nearby property. Recent protests over Oakwell have led school district officials to look elsewhere, like nearby polo fields in Haverford Township.
What we're trying to communicate to those that have an interest in preserving that entire property is we hear you. That's why we looked at polo fields.
At this time, the district is still planning on using some of the Oakwell property for fields. Leaders couldn't say in the end how many trees would be cut down. Meanwhile, John Bennett is upset. Even more than leaving his home, he is bothered by how the land will be affected.
What do you think about their plan with this property, your home?
It's sinful.
Sinful.
It's beyond reproach. To cut down the whole forest that took hundreds of years to grow.
The Lower Merion School District emphasizes there is still much left up in the air. As far as how many trees could be cut down, that's unclear. However, the school district says they are hearing the protesters. Original plans have been modified. Additional field space has been identified in neighboring Haverford Township to alleviate some of the pressure on Oakwell. A final decision on that rests with the Haverford Township Board of Commissioners. This is Joe Holden, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Well, you can find both parts of Joe's investigation on our website, cbsphiladelphia.com.